You talk about culture as really being a very critical component as a success factor in managing internationally. Help us understand why that's so important.
Culture is critical. It is, in my opinion, the one aspect of international business leadership that can't really be taught. I think sensitivity to another culture is an innate characteristic that a person either has or does not. I hope I'm wrong, but in my experience that has been what I have learned. Culture consists of a number of key elements. First and foremost is language. Proficiency in a language is your ability to express and defend your opinion. Now, a lot of people learn a rudimentary understanding of a language simply to be able to carry on a conversation. But if you can't express and defend your opinion, you truly have not learned enough of that language to be effective in a business situation. You have to learn that there are in other languages multiple levels of respect. I'm sure you've heard in Spanish the difference between tú and usted. And in fact, there are 3 levels of respect in many Latin American countries. And it's appropriate for you to understand, for anyone to understand, when a particular way of addressing an individual is the appropriate one to use in a given situation. You have to learn the vocabulary of your respective business. If, as in my case, you were part of an electric or power distribution company, you have to understand and learn the vocabulary. And fortunately, there are books you can buy that presume you speak a particular language, but lack the vocabulary of a given discipline. And it's critical to purchase one of those books, to sit down and learn what those words are. And then finally, there are what are called false cognates in language, which are words that we think we understand, but in fact do not. And they can get one into a great deal of trouble. One example is that in English, we use the word compromise. It's the way we enter into negotiations typically. In Spanish, there is no word for compromise. There's a word called compromiso, which we think means compromise, but in fact it means commitment. And so the fact that there's no word for compromise in Spanish factors into the way most people in Latin America enter into the process of negotiation.